Welcome to a special edition of Jimmy's World, a behind the scenes and a full update on everything. We'll start with this, then we'll hit the Elvis jet. We have the Bahama giveaway winner that I need to contact. The Blue Tarp Special, you haven't seen that thing in almost a year. Plus, I don't know what else we got. We got boxes of some amazing cool stuff. Some of the things that you guys have sent me that we'll check out. First, let's check out the old Lancair here. As you know, I have it going up for auction next week, and we were just going through things a little bit, taking it on a final sad tier, final flight before it goes up for auction to its new owner. We put in some real fancy fine wire spark plugs. We found a small oil leak on a oil line back here. It was just a little seep, but we got her dialed in, and just for good measure, we replaced this tire over here. There wasn't anything really wrong with the other one other than it was a little worn more than the other side because, yeah, I think 2 years ago I had a flat tire landing and had to get that one replaced, so we just wanted to make sure they matched and had two good tires on the front, and that tire was replaced this year too, so it's got new tires on it. Fantastic. This airplane, as you know, Byron, Rockstar guy, built it, spent 8,000 hours building this airplane. It is easily my favorite airplane to fly of any of the airplanes that I've ever flown. Difficult to fly, I'll admit, on takeoff and on landing, because it's fast. You have to land and take off faster than most small airplanes even fly. One thing about this airplane, you put it on like your favorite pair of pants, one leg at a time. Are you able to see this down there? And you sit down like that, tuck your shirt. Oh yeah, check brakes. Oh, that's fantastic. And then get comfy. There we go. So whoever the new owner is, I would like for us to do some training together just to make sure that this thing flies way different than any Cessna 172 or any other more basic airplane. P factor that you learned about is for real. And when they say fly it by the numbers, that is 100% accurate. You have to fly this airplane by the numbers if you can ever get the seatbelt buckled. Come on now. Okay. There we go. Boom. Okay. Like that. All right. I am going to apologize now about the sound quality because I forgot my flight bag at home, and these are crappy headsets that I had laying in the hangar, and they're noise canceling, but they're not really noise canceling. Hopefully we'll be able to have the audio to where it's not too terrible to listen to while we're in flight. But let's go ahead and do our checklists and get this thing fired up. All right, fuel quantity is checked, sump is checked, pitot is checked, prop and spinner is checked, control connections we checked. Yes, landing gear is down. Tires and brakes are all checked. Control locks removed. Fuel caps are secure. 1, 2, and 3. Static port is open. Oil quantity is good. We're just above 6. Tow bar is off. Got it right there. Tank vents are clear. Gear switch down. Valve is closed. Ram air is closed. And now we can start it. All right. First things first, this right here, we need to put a label on it. This is the backup battery for the other magneto, so that still needs to happen. We'll go ahead and close this now. Make sure all our wires are out of the way. Okay, Silas, go ahead and latch. Good. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here, I'll hold this. You go ahead and latch it up. Boom. Got it? Good. Okay. All right. So, starting procedure on this is we turn our masters on. I'm going to prime it for 4 seconds. Mixture up, throttle cracked. We're going to hit our boost pump for count to 4. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Bring it back to cutoff. Leave that there. Pump the brakes, make sure we got good brakes. Our battery backup is on, and then we look around, make sure nobody's around us. There haven't been, and can I get a clear prop? tilts are good. RPMs are right there. We're gonna lean it back just a little. All right. Now we're gonna see how the audio sounds.
All right. And I can't hear out of this ear over here.
Me too, yeah.
Oh wait, we got volumes on these, and it does nothing whatsoever. That one works. That one does nothing at all whatsoever.
Yep.
Here, let's turn our box on to see if that helps. Okay. Oh, hey. I got this here to turn on now. Back to our checklist. Backup battery. We put it on the checklist. That's that. Flaps, our pitch trim will be right there. Gears on. Lockout is good. There, I'm going to turn that off. And I need to pull up ForeFlight because we're going to go right there. And we're going to go there.
City traffic 716.
Alright, weather is still not working. So let's get where we're going in. 123.05. Oh, it's the same place. Sweet, we don't even have to change Unicom. Our total flight time is going to be 6 minutes and 5 seconds. That's awesome. We're going to use approximately 1 gallon of gas. Isn't that nuts? Look at that.
Kansas City 760 uniform, turning left, downwind.
And I think it'd be a little silly to go all the way up to 9,000 feet. So how about we just stick to 2,000 feet. All right, here we go. Flaps are set. That is set. We're on the roll.
Traffic, Citrica 54 kilos, over the midfield, 1,800. Eye out for the Skycatcher. Be right into your draft, left downwind, 10 City.
All right, here we go.
There's about 4 calls there, none of them went through.
Airspeed is alive. There's 40. Engine instruments are in the green. 60.
City traffic, Skycatcher 054, on the left downwind,
Gears coming up.
Plant City traffic 764,
There's 90.
left downwind, runway 10, Plant City.
95. 98. There's 100. 105. 106. Going up. Wow! Man, I love this airplane. There's 400 feet already.
Left downwind.
Did I mention how much I love this airplane? We're already at 700 feet catching that traffic.
Turn your left base, runway 10, Plant City.
Alright, we'll bring our flaps up and feel it go down, and then feel the speed take off.
Falcon traffic, 150, downwind.
There's 115,
Traffic,
117,
kilo, starting right hand to your drop,
120.
left downwind 10, Plant City.
Plant City traffic, Lancair H61 Echo departing the area to the north, Plant City.
Alright, we are already pretty much there.
Tampa North traffic, Lancair H261 Echo turning downwind, runway 32, Tampa North.
I forgot to mention, we're going to be doing a live auction party to celebrate the end of the auction and to talk about the 310, to talk about the Lancair, and to talk to you. Go to aeroverse.com. It's free. Join us there. It'll be a fantastic time. Now back to the rest of the show.
Off the traffic, 580 Juliet Alpha, turning left downwind 33, off the traffic.
Alright, 1600 to bring it down. We are under gear speed. Lower the gear so we can start coming down. Alright, 1, 2, and 3 green. That's always a good sign. 500 feet a minute, right? We'll bring in a couple bunches of flaps. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Keep an eye on our speed. 100 in the downwind. And now we'll pull power out and just fly it all the way to the ground. And what better way to celebrate the Lancair being done than to go find an awesome airport restaurant. So that's what we're doing. We are going here. Apparently, Silas says they have the best French toast on the planet. Yeah?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go check it out.
17 minutes from takeoff to actually landing and pulling in here, and half of that time was spent just back taxiing on the runway. This is awesome. Yeah, I really am gonna miss that airplane. So this is Silas's favorite lunch, which is not really lunch if I'm honest. Look, it's dessert. Don't lie, it's just dessert.
It is dessert. That's why it's good.
Yeah. Bon appetit, my fellas and fellettes. Which brings us to the Blue Tarp special. Yes, we got this airplane from Billy, who had it donated to his organization. It sat up there for almost 9 years until we got it ready just to fly the one time, and we haven't flown it since because it needed to be completely gone through, and we are finally at the very last stages. We just got a couple of minor things to do. We have a gasket over here that's leaking on the little fuel bowl. We got some spark plug wires that we're gonna change out just for good measure. I think that's about it before we fire this thing up. We're also gonna be updating the avionics. We have a special future plan for this video that we've been working on for almost a year, so I don't wanna give too much away, but yeah, this airplane is gonna be something fantastic. So this Blue Tarp special, not really anything I want to tell you about that yet, but we have a whole bunch of boxes for the Elvis jet, and that is what we are going to be taking over right now. Let's just grab the boxes and let's get to the Elvis jet. Back here with the Elvis jet, and we've got some boxes to look at. First thing from the last video when we backed it out of here, couldn't see anything. We already had that planned. We're using a camera system. Got a little screen here with a couple that are going to go for the side view that goes there, one in the back and then one up front because that nose sticks out like 12 feet. We're going to be putting this in. Then BAS, by the way, huge shout out to them. This stuff all came from their place in Missouri. Matt, you're a rock star. They had 12 of these, I think, which is just nuts because there was only ever 200 and something made ever. They've got 12 of them. But what they did was send us all of the instruments that we were missing to fill in the dashboard up there. And this whole box is just instruments for that. I mean, look at that. We've got even the vertical speed stuff. How cool is that? And yes, we're leaving the airspeeds connected because the pitot is still up there, which means we can still see the airspeed move and stuff like that. How cool is that? So that's this box. I think that's everything that's in this box is instruments. Oh, wait, what is that? That is, okay, that's something much bigger. Oh, that one got bent. Oh, that's a bummer. Ah, dying. So that one, this our airspeed, this little knob got bent. Maybe we can bend that back out. And that's probably not good, but it's for display purposes. Doesn't have to be airworthy. But there's something, what in the heck is that? What the heck is this? Ah. What is that? They sent us the whole radar. Look at the size of the radar. This is just a display. It's not even the computer and all the scanner and everything like that. That's intense. So, okay, we got that too. Wow, I didn't know that was coming. Any, mini, miny, mo. Gas gauges. Lots of RPMs. Because you got 4 engines in there. Anything else? Anything? Oh, what's this? This is a big gauge right here. What do we got? Oh, we got another vertical speed for the co-pilot side. Okay. This one over here. God, that's big. All right. This box is the stair motor, and it's the arm for the the stair motor itself, this part, because what's in this other box is that. So let me show you what's in the other box. It's my electric guitar. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, yes. I just saw something in there that is game-changing. Oh, this was the one thing I was missing to be able to talk to the tower, because the avionics are still connected and they still work. So with this, we should be able to plug it in, and it has the weirdest plug on it, and that's why we couldn't talk to it. It's just so weird. Look at that. But I really, man, I hope this works. Plug it in and be like, Elvis 1 holding short of runway 24, ready for departure. Oh, I really hope that works. This is all of the stair stuff that we need to fix all of our stair stuff over there. Oh good, because all of these are the rods that broke on ours. I guess people over the years, you know, pulling them down, yanking them, and trying to move them without the battery connected to go, they just ended up breaking them off. That is fantastic. Oh, I got one more surprise, something that one of you sent. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about this. So this, here, I get the letter from him. Where did the letter go? Oh, here we go. Jay Pearson, he bought one of the Elvis tags. He framed it up. He had a ticket from where he went to one of Elvis's concerts. That's super neat. And he also said, hey, Jimmy, I've got some Elvis 8-tracks. How fantastic is this? Look at that. Oh, look at that glory right there. And it still has the boxes that are in it. Now we need to find an actual working 8-track player to play those. But wait, there's more. He sent 2 shirts. You got your poker dogs. Who doesn't love the dogs playing poker? I mean, really, that's just fantastic. Jay, you're a rock star. Here we go. This is my personal favorite right here. Boom. We've got an Elvis Hawaiian type shirt. Oh, like a very much. Wow. Fantastic. Jay, thank you so much for sending these. Bless my day big time. Absolutely fantastic. Grizzly, who's behind the camera today, not Silas. Let's go put these stair things together and see if our stairs can't come to life. What do you think? Nice. Let's do it. Now that we got everything connected, let's see if the stairs will come out on their own. And I found my button on the outside, so here goes. Okay. Alright, so far. Yes! Golly. They're out! Woo! Oh, yeah, they definitely. Oh, I need some adjustment. That thing's locked. Alright, will you go back in? I'm sure it's fine. Details. Back here, look, that's the old Porsche right there. Black one, apparently. It's still driving. He said the blue one he discovered was submerged, apparently, in water, so that's not surprising, if I'm honest with you. Well, I had a piece of paper that I had to give them for the other Porsche, And then we're gonna check in on the little blue Kitfox with the radial engine. So let's go in and meet them and check it out, get an update. Well, here it is in all of its glory. I've got to do a final measurement on the hub right here because we're getting that fancy Cincinnati wooden propeller so it looks all classy. But they have been working on this thing. Hopefully this will be ready to fly here pretty soon. They had to do all the connections between getting the engine connected and everything inside. And they already had everything to do that. And look, it's got foldy wings on it. That way it'll fit in a regular single car garage is my understanding as well. So that'll help with hangar space. Oh, that is neat. They build the Aero Venturas here. It's an ultralight amphibious airplane, which I'm secretly, desperately in love with. So this right here, look at that. How cool would it be to get the seaplane rating, to get a water rating, get one of these things, fly around? That'd be pretty sweet. I don't know, I'm sure we'll get it done. I know this is too personal, but you gotta read this. That's fantastic. Too funny. Good company here. Man, there's still so many things to look at. We got this Lancair. This thing is sweet. Makes me sad about selling my Lancair. Now, something that was not here last time that I really was hoping was here is this. It's an Aerostar, of course, 300 mile an hour, fastest piston twin airplane in the world. And he saved it, so we'll get him over here to tell us a story about saving this thing. It's an epic story, man after my own heart, you know what I'm saying? This is Alex, you guys know him from the last video. Tell me the story behind this. Tell us the recap of you guys saving it, because it's a fantastic story.
Yeah, so we were actually in the market for a Aerostar, just being the fastest twin that we could find, and we were actually looking for a 600A originally. So with that, we were out there looking, couldn't really find anything that fit our need. In fact, we had a lead on one and ended up getting sold. Guy sent a deposit. We waited about a month just to see if that transaction was going to transpire, fell through. So we were looking, and this one popped up on Facebook, of all places, for some ridiculous price. So we immediately tried to contact her. We used every resource we could find. We were on LinkedIn, we were on Facebook, we were on Messenger, obviously. We were on any social media profile we could find with this lady's contact, and we managed to get a hold of her. And at that point, I said, listen, I'll be there tomorrow. Don't sell the plane. Because she's like, well, people are calling me. And I'm like, I'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to come.
With cash.
With cash. And she's like, okay. So I got on, literally bought like a Spirit Airlines ticket to California, which was ridiculously painful. So it was like a 6-hour flight. Get to California. Ended up taking a Uber from LAX to Camarillo, which was like $120. I get to Camarillo. She's there, the plane's real. I'm like, okay, that's a good start. It's covered in dust entirely, so you couldn't even really tell what it looked like, what it was.
What did you know about the airplane? How long had it been sitting? What was on the ad?
Yeah, so the ad really didn't say much at all. In fact, it was very vague. It was just basically like she was the oh God, I forget the verbiage she used, but she was essentially the executor of her father-in-law's estate at this point, who had owned the airplane. And so the airplane hadn't flown in a while, and that's all we knew. And she sent me logbook, because she had posted this in another ad on someplace else, but ended up sharing the ad on Facebook. And so through the links, we were able to get some logbooks and view those, and it looked like it hadn't flown in about 7 years, as far as we could tell. Come to find out, we believe it was flown 2 more times after that period, but fairly close to that. So pretty much 7 years would be a good judgment. Worst case, or best case scenario, 6 years. The mechanics on the field actually were the ones that had done the annuals on it for quite a few years prior to that, so they knew the airplane, and they're like, yeah, it had moved. So we get in there, it's covered in dust. We're like, obviously we knew there was going to be some assumption of risk, being that the engines might, if there's corrosion everywhere, things like that. So that's really what I came in to look at. While I'm there and trying to get a look at the plane, I have to take cowlings off. I'm trying to get as much as I can done. Her phone's blowing up. And I got people that literally, she's showing me the messages, and they're like, where do I send the money? I'll give you X amount.
Yeah, no kidding.
And these are like, now we're like 40 grand over asking,
oh,
right?
Gosh.
And I'm like,
you're like, here, right, lady, take the money.
Yeah, so finally I'm like, I call my business partner. I'm like, look, if we want this thing, we got to jump on it. It's, we either we can
Was
port
it
it
like
out.
a $50,000 kind of price? Under sub 100?
It was sub 100. I'll just
Gosh.
say that. Yeah, it was definitely
Jeez.
sub 100. But I won't give you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
number.
okay,
So
all right,
it-
that's
it-
fine. But you've spent a lot of money on this thing.
Oh, no,
since.
absolutely,
I've
absolutely.
seen interior,
Yeah.
brand new interior, gone through the engines. He's fully American made this thing.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
has the little cross
And
in
you're
there and
welcome to
everything.
look inside. And stuff,
All right,
but,
so you got it. So what did you have to do to it to then fly it all the way from coast to coast? I mean,
Yeah, so we flew from
California.
Camarillo all the way to Florida here, and what ended up happening, I
what'd you
made
do
two
to it
separate
before
trips.
you-
I made two. So there, for that time when I bought the plane, I was there for another 2 days. So I spent 3 days out there getting the plane, like oil change, boroscope, checked everything out as far as I could get it, gear swing, you name it. Battery was completely shot, all these things. So I ended up having to order a bunch of stuff. Tire was flat on the nose. The mains, it was sitting on jacks. So the tires on the mains actually were in great shape, no dry rot. But obviously, because of the age, the rubber would wear down quickly. But we were like, okay, we can still get away with that. So like, try not to open Pandora's boxes. So we did basically the bare minimum, as I like to say, to make it to where it was ferryable. We then decided, well, you know what? Instead of getting a ferry permit, let's go ahead and get in an annual. Just to cover, all our bases
That
and
way
go
you're
through it
not
thoroughly. So there was an
restricted
AD
so much.
that was required for the balance tubes. And the weird thing about that AD, I don't want to get too in depth, but it's basically like because they could be corroded because of the way they did the treatment was wrong. But ours was not even, there was no corrosion on this entire airplane, not even a speck. So we looked at the balance tube, they looked brand freaking new, but we had to replace them because of the AD. So we spent $2,500, I think, total in doing that. So that was probably the most labor intensive. Oh, and then the fuel pump on this engine took a crap during one of my run-ups. And if anybody knows how to work on Aerostars, it is a nightmare.
Yeah, they're tight. Everything in there is tight.
My hand seemed like I was probably 7 feet tall and looked like Andre the Giant because my little hand became a very large hand because it wouldn't fit back there. So I had cuts, bleeding. It took me about 3 hours to replace it because I was taking 20 minutes breaks because I was going to beat the hell out of it with a hammer if I didn't.
Yes.
So it was very frustrating. I had one hand doing this to get the nuts tight. So it was a pain in the butt.
That's normal.
So those two things were probably the most labor-intensive plane. Other than that, the aircraft was actually in really good shape. I did have to pull that starter because it got stuck and would not disengage. So I had to take it apart, lube up the thing, and then got it all fixed up, put all that back together. So little things like that. Nothing too major. We ended up getting it all in annual. Serviced all the struts, nitrogen, replaced the front tire. The brakes were fine. Just little stuff. Did a bunch of taxi tests. And then I had one of my buddy pilots who used to own a 600, actually a 601B, so not the pressurized version. And he flew out to California with me to fly it back. And so we got in it, and the original goal was to climb up to about 11 or 10,000 feet above the airport to get outside the airspace and just fly for about an hour and come back and check everything. So we did that. We went up, and he's like, everything's working great, let's go. So we just headed east, and that's how we got here. It took us 7 hours, 23 minutes from Camarillo, California, flight time, to Ocala, Florida. Yeah. So,
What?
yeah, we had a nice tailwind hitting Texas to here.
Okay,
but,
what were you seeing ground speed? Best ground speed you were seeing on that? Because that's insane.
I want to say it's probably about 265 knots. Yeah.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's why. At what altitude?
So we were only actually at 13 because my wastegate took a crap on this engine. So we did some mouse milk on there, got that all working, and then so we were able. Well, we didn't do that till we got back. So we really were limited to below 15,000 just to keep the engines quite synced. Because at that point it started dropping off on the manifold pressure because
Well,
the
you
turbo
didn't know
wasn't able
about
to keep up.
pressurization.
Oh,
Wait.
we tested that, so it's
Okay.
pressurized, yeah, and
Yeah.
it works. The AC works, the heater worked, everything
Gosh.
worked. Yeah, we got really
Wow.
lucky. We just lucked out. I mean, there's, and now
Man, that's awesome.
we're 80 hours into it, and so this engine started consuming quite a bit of oil, and it was one cylinder, the middle cylinder on the other side that had some pitting, and basically was damaged to rings, and we had a lot of blow-by. So we decided to just do the whole engine at that point because this engine only had 800 hours. That engine has 200 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that was 200 hours since replaced, so it's a brand new engine because it was making metal originally. So that engine, brand new, only has 200 hours since it was put on. This one had 800 since major overhaul. So now we just went ahead and just did the top end.
Yeah.
So these are all brand new cylinders. And we just did the valve, the gap on the valves, and we're getting ready to put it back together and do the break-in on the ground and then break-in in the air, and she'll be back in the skies.
Man, that is fantastic.
yeah.
I love those stories. That's this right here. Yeah. So I got the 421C because that's a passenger's favorite airplane. The Aerostar is the pilot's favorite airplane.
Absolutely.
So that is fantastic. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah, new interior.
Dusty,
you got this. I mean, you're just flying it. He's got lots of fun toys, and then the, of course, you know, the carbon fiber P51 scale. What do you call them?
Scale wings. Yep,
Scale
scale
wings.
SW51.
There you go. Yeah, always beautiful. Okay, let's get out of here. We got a lot more places to go. I'm here at the Twin Cessna Convention, and we're gonna nerd out for just a second. So if you're not a hardcore motorhead or something like that, probably skip this part. But if you are, you have got to check out what they have done. This is the only engine in the world that they did this with, and this is the geared engine out of my 421C. Not mine, but one like it. Let me show you a few things that I never knew. First up here, this is the geared, top gear, bottom gear, much like a supercharger. And this is the crankshaft right here, which the propeller is up here, and you hear this? That's the gear chatter that apparently you hear at idle on these engines if you idle them, and that's why it's a bad thing. But that's not what I wanted to show you. Look down in here. The crankshaft. See if I can spin it around. Out of the way. There we go. Okay, you see that? This is attached to the crankshaft, and that is a counterweight. How insane is that? These move as the centrifugal force goes around faster and faster. Those counterweights move as they need to. I have never seen a counterweight that was not fixed on an airplane engine. That's insane. See a starter? Alternator turning. If you ever wanted to see the inside of an alternator, that's what it looks like as it's turning. How cool is that? They've got everything on this that turns. Turbocharger. Red is hot, blue is cold. As it spins, exhaust spins it, which then spins that, which then sucks it in and goes in there and goes squeeze, bang, blow, all that stuff. Oil cooler. That's what the inside of an oil cooler looks like. How neat is that? Exhaust. Here's our super expensive exhaust AD. Your oil pump down in there. Goes around. Look at that. There's the intake sucking it all down. The valve closes. Then it comes up to compression, squeezes it. Kabang! Spark plug goes off. This is the power where the gas and stuff explode, goes down. And now the exhaust valve right there opens and it pushes out of the exhaust, and then it starts all over, suck back in. That is just cool. Governor. Now look at this down here. When I move the governor, it changes the oil pressure in that little thing right there. Look at that, watch. As it opens and closes, change the oil pressure that goes in the propeller. Fills up this area and this big spring, which this has nitrogen on it, and in here, which then changes the pitch, so those will roll as that rod moves and it pushes on the plate right there and moves the propellers. How insane. This is just fantastic. They also have it cut out underneath so you can see the camshaft. How stinking cool is that? Wow. How cool is that? I wonder if they'll invite us down to check out how one of these engines is actually made. That would be cool. Or the Lycoming like that's in Cameron. That would be cool too. Let me know in the comments. Should we go see how an airplane engine's made? That'd be pretty neat. I am calling Matthew the winner of the Bahama trip giveaway. Normally how this goes, the giveaway company that helps us with this, they call them and they do it, but Matthew thinks this is a scam because apparently there's a lot of scams with Telegram or something. I don't use Telegram, so unless it comes from me or directly email, it is a scam, but this is not a scam. Let's give Matthew a call. I hope he picks up and answers. We'll find out.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey Matthew, this is Jimmy from Jimmy's World. I'm giving you a call in regards to the Bahama trip that is for real. If you would, please give me a call back. Oh, he's calling me back. Hello, this is Jimmy. I was told to give you a call because you had bought a t-shirt from us and got you entered on the Bahama trip, and your name got drawn as the winner. I just got off the phone with Matt, the winner of the Bahama trip, and I am so glad that it's going to him. He did ask to remain anonymous, so I'm going to respect his wishes on that. However, I'm looking forward to our trip, and it has a very special place in his heart and his life, so he definitely deserves this, and congratulations, Matt. I'll look forward to going to the Bahamas with you. Now, we have to go down, tell a couple of jokes, and maybe tell some stories and learn some stuff at the Twin Cessna Flyer Convention here in St. Augustine. And then we're heading to Indianapolis to go race in the Indy 800 with Cletus and a whole bunch of other crazy YouTubers. So let's get going. We are here in Indianapolis getting ready to hammer down on the Indy 800. You know, there's the 500, which is pretty stinking cool. But we've got some NASCAR drivers, we've got other YouTubers, we've got just all kinds of cool people. And then we have a special surprise for you. Let's just get to the track. Let's get going. Quite possibly one of the worst decisions ever, probably by Cletus, if I'm honest with you, for letting me chariot this sucker around the track. I mean, let's go over and check it out. First time I'm seeing it. Of course, we had to do 310. I said I wasn't going to race unless we did 310. Ooh, boom. Jimmy World. I love it. I'm going to have to take my marker and put an S right there. All right. This is for the rookie drivers, I think. Yep. Digging it. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that. Still got power windows. I wonder if the air conditioner works. CD player? Yes, maybe we can put in something, huh? If you ever wanted to know what the front of a Crown Vic looks like, I know some of you know what the back of a Crown Vic. There's a scooter back there. Oh. How long has that been? I'm totally taking that thing. Is that my prize? My participation award? Well, that's cool. Wow. We're gonna have to throw some cameras up in here. What is that? Trunk? It worked. Let's go check out the trunk. And there's supposed to, I thought these things were supposed to have nitrous on it. Yeah, that's what most Crown Vics look like. Alright, let's go check. Let's see. You know, abandoned car videos. Oh, there is! Look at that! Yes! That's my new friend. I don't know how to use it, but we're going to. Yeego! Green means go. Is that the nitrous button? Go fast! Alright, let's see what kind of BTUs she's putting out. It's really funny. I just noticed this is your old typical car. You gotta do that, and then it comes up enough. Oh, look at that beauty. Hey, the hood stays up. Nice. There you go, boys. I have no idea. Nitrous goes in there somewhere. Supposed to be a valve in there somewhere. I'm not a hardcore car guy. I mean, a car guy, but not like a hardcore car guy. All right, to victory. Here we go. Did I mention NASCAR legend Tony Stewart was going to be racing with us? But I mean, that's pretty cool. That is cool. Maybe I can pass him at least once. Say I pass a NASCAR driver. That would be epic. Here, hold on. I got to correct something. There we go. Nailed it. So close. Public school. Alright, clear problem. Woo! Which is what the straight This was the first time I had ever driven and raced on a circle track. This was the first time in probably 10 years that I've even been in a race car. And there were smashing and crashing and banging and bonking, and I mean, it was shake and bake and boogity boogity, look at them go, boys. But we did get passed by quite a few people, but we also made a few passes ourselves. I ended up finishing almost dead last, but good news, I did pass Tony Stewart. Yeah, maybe it was because he spun out in the very last lap coming towards the checkered flag, but hey, it still counts as a pass and finishing ahead of NASCAR legend Tony Stewart. All in all, it was fun had by anybody, and I will admit, I completely forgot about the nitrous the entire race. Not once did I use the nitrous. I can't believe it. What an idiot. Totally forgot about the go fast past button there. Man, but it was a ton of fun. I was exhausted after the first 20 laps, and we had to go for 80 laps. It was just crazy. I finally was able to kind of sort of get in the groove, but I wanted to be nice. I just wanted more than anything. I just wanted to finish the race. That was it. I'm happy that I had the chance to do it. Hopefully we'll have the chance to do this again. It was a ton of fun. And boogity boogity, we'll see you boys later. Holy moly, I survived. The car is a little worse for wear. Let's just start at this end. There's damage there. Damage there. And there. And there. And there. And there's some more. There's some more. Oh yeah, and it comes all the way back here and goes to there, all the way to the end. So that, oh, let's look at the other side. We haven't even seen the other side yet. Let's see. Oh, hey! I think I found a corner of the car. I didn't do anything. There's some there.
Did you know he was coming? Oh no, I didn't see him.
Yep, here. Some more right there. There, and yeah.
Another receiver.
We got it. Yeah, sorry, Cletus. But hey, you know, rubbin's racing, right? Shake and bake. And that was a ton of fun. Thank you to Cletus putting on these events for everybody. I had an absolute blast. I hope you guys had a blast watching it. That's not the end, because we still have tomorrow, if nothing else happens tonight, which very well could be in this crowd. A bunch of crazy kids. All right, let's go find a nice adult beverage. That's what we need.
We're let
So
all
this
on
is
the
my
last lap.
first
Who was there
ever
last night
burnout
to watch
competition.
the Indy 800?
Should be pretty
It was
cool.
unbelievable.
Should be pretty fun.
We
Let's
went
check it
drag
out.
racing all day. On top of the Mustang.
He's literally in a boat.
He's in a boat. Not on a boat. He is in a boat.
This will be the first boat we've ever had competing in a burnout rivals, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a Mustang Bullet with a 1979 Hawaiian jet boat stuck on top.
All right, let's see what we've got right now. He's up into the back of the jet boat.
That cleaner knows how to put on a show.
Victory for Madison Gordon in the rookie season of 5:53 and 2:64.
And
So
then
it
we'll bring him
gets
on out. Let's roll some music.
really
and
loud.
in just a few minutes.
Just a second, you'll find out just how loud it gets.
Let's hear it for Jackson. Come on. Make some noise.
This guy puts on a heck of a show.
Yep.
Leader.
Yeah, hey, thanks for watching Jimmy's World. Do it for Dale. We'll freaking see you later.
I just got into my car after 4 days and it's been sitting here in the sun in Florida, and I forgot about a coffee with some creamer that I forgot about. That's gross. We'll just